So if you just unplug an HDMI cable from a Blu-ray player and try to split it to like 32 different TVs in a sports bar, you won't actually get 32 smaller pictures.
Right, you just get 32 blank screens.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into the exact piece of hardware designed to outsmart that whole problem. We are looking at the Vitec AVSTR-E3832 encoder.
Which was formerly Exterity, by the way.
Right, formerly Exterity. And we have a stack of product literature here from a global distributor called HDTV Supply. Our mission today is to uncover how this heavy-duty AV networking gear manages massive video distribution.
And also why a buyer would actually trust this specific vendor to provide it, because that's just as important.
Yeah, for sure. So to really understand this device, we have to look at the massive headache it cures, because distributing high-quality video to dozens of screens at once usually triggers, well, an immediate copyright shutdown.
Yeah, you're dealing with high bandwidth digital content protection, HDCP. It's the protocol built into all modern video formats to, stop piracy.
Right.
So if you plug a raw HDMI cable into a cheap splitter, the source device basically panics and cuts the feed entirely.
Oh, wow. So it just completely shuts down.
Exactly. And that's where the Vitec E3832 comes in. It bypasses that bottleneck by taking two HDMI inputs and encoding H.264 video streams directly over an existing network.
Okay, so the crucial mechanism here, looking at the specs, is its support for HDCP version 2.2, right?
Yeah, that's the big one.
So rather than just blindly copying a signal, the encoder actually manages those complex cryptographic handshakes that copyright law requires. And it does this for up to 32 different endpoints.
It basically acts as a secure translator. It takes this heavily guarded, copyrighted video, translates it into a language the network understands, and securely whispers it to 32 approved TVs at the exact same time.
And it's not like it's sending 32 massive separate video files, right? Because I feel like that would instantly crash a local network.
Oh, absolutely. It would completely tank the network. So instead, it uses a protocol called multicast. It broadcasts just one single highly secure stream.
Okay, got it.
And then those 32 different screens can just tune into that one stream simultaneously without degrading the image quality at all.
Right, which is huge. But pushing that kind of secure data obviously requires serious hardware. Like, it outputs a maximum resolution of 1080p at 60 Hz. It features a built-in power supply and offers a few different control methods like SNMP, serial, and a web browser interface.
Yeah, the web interface is actually super important here.
Wait, I have to pause you there because looking at the spec sheet, I was kind of confused why a web browser interface is explicitly touted as a feature. Isn't a web interface just the absolute baseline standard for any hardware nowadays?
You'd think so, but you have to think about the physical reality of the person actually buying this. Like, HDTV Supply's catalog caters to massive AV setups. They even have dedicated categories for 160 TV sports bars.
That is a lot of TVs.
Right. So if you're the IT admin managing that environment, you cannot be physically tethered via a serial cable in some, 90-degree server closet.
Oh, I see. You'd be roasting in there.
Exactly. You need the ability to configure network settings from a laptop on the other side of the building while you're actually watching the screens change on the wall.
That makes total sense. And honestly, if you're that IT admin relying on a web interface to run 160 TVs on a busy Saturday night, you cannot afford any network downtime, which I guess makes the vendor supplying this gear just as critical as the hardware itself.
That is exactly where HDTV Supply comes into the picture. They're a massive distributor. They have 25 years of experience building out these complex enterprise networks.
Yeah, handling huge matrices, Wolfpack systems, video walls, all of it. And they boast a 96% rating of 4 or 5 stars from their customers, which is impressive.
It is, but, anyone can just slap a 5-star graphic on their website. What's interesting is they actually publish the real mixed reviews right there.
Yeah, I saw that. One user praises them for a quick solution involving resolution settings for 4K and 1080p. But literally right below that, another customer bluntly states the staff was, quote, less than friendly, but answered my question.
Which is hilarious, but in enterprise AV, you aren't just buying a piece of hardware. You're buying an insurance policy against Friday night system crashes.
Right.
So HDTV Supply, publishing their negative reviews and actually responding constructively to them, proves they are selling reality. It's not just sanitized marketing copy.
Yeah, it's proof that you're dealing with a transparent operation rather than just some faceless corporate storefront.
Huh.
So to kind of wrap this up for the deep dive, the Vitec E3832 is this incredibly powerful, secure workhorse.
Definitely.
It basically manages these complex cryptographic handshakes to safely route protected 1080p video across an IP network to 32 screens at once. And it's all backed by a highly experienced vendor ecosystem.
Which kind of leaves us with a lingering question to ponder, really.
Well, what's that?
Well, as corporate and commercial networks become increasingly sophisticated, you have to wonder if dedicated physical AV encoding hardware like this will eventually just be entirely absorbed by cloud software.
Or, will the absolute necessity of secure zero latency local transmission keep these physical secure translators in our server racks forever? Definitely something for you to think about the next time you see a massive wall of perfectly synced TVs.